It's late night, and you may see only my teeth, but I wanted to discuss that veganism is expensive. Yes, and it's expensive um, for various different reasons. But you can also be a vegan and save money. So there are various ways, just like if you are eating animal products and animal foods, you can endure a lot of cost. It can be very expensive or it can be very cheap depending on what you buy and where you shop and so forth. So let me tell you that veganism can be expensive if you shop at a high-end supermarket and you're buying, expensive, meat alternative products or vegan alternative products, and you are buying things that probably are shipped from far distance and they're, you know, pretty pricey. If you're buying durians all the time and if you're buying other products that are expensive in northern climates, they don't grow here, then you could endure, it could be expensive to be vegan. But if you're buying simple food, everyday foods, staple foods like potatoes and rice and grains and even pasta are not expensive. And if you really think about it, even fruits and vegetables, that are in season, and even the ones that aren't in season, are not expensive either. Because if you think about it, produce is not heavily subsidized at all by the government. I think it's like less than 5% of the budget is spent on fruits and vegetables in the US, I believe. And a lot of it is spent on animal foods, animal products, and processed foods. So if you think about, let's say, animal products were not subsidized, processed foods were not subsidized, those foods would skyrocket in price and very few people would be able to afford them. But so if you don't subsidize plant foods at all, like even with the less than 5% government subsidy, you remove that, and the plant foods would still be way cheaper than animal products. So let's say the tables were turned around and animal products were not subsidized, processed foods were not subsidized by the government, but plant foods were. So plant foods would come down tremendously, at least 75%, at least, maybe even up to 90%, if you think about it. That's just what I feel. So if you think about, like, let's say bananas, let's just say it costs $1 a pound, okay? Canadian, $1 a pound. So they would cost like 25 cents a pound, if that, if fruits and vegetables were subsidized, if plant foods were subsidized. So that's another thing, is that sometimes animal foods seem cheaper because they're just subsidized by the government, because animal agriculture writes all the laws and the policies and they get subsidies. But why don't the fruit and vegetable farmers and the grain farmers and the legume farmers get subsidies like animal agriculture? Well, because animal agriculture is a massive industry. It's the biggest industry probably in the world. The biggest industry in the world, animal agriculture. And so it's subsidized. It's massive subsidies from the government and so many other subsidies and other things that go into it. So a lot of times people have to go far in order to go to a cheaper supermarket or find good deals somewhere in those discount racks. Maybe where you're located, maybe there are people that can afford to pay a little bit more and get better quality produce. And so you're in an area that really has, high-end supermarkets and health stores. And maybe you need to move in that case. And some people are so stuck with their, like, oh, I need to live here and I need to do this and I need to do that and everything's so expensive, and they keep complaining and they never really do anything about it. If vegans or anyone for that matter is low on income, there are food banks that provide people with plant-based foods, vegan foods. And when it comes to like bread and when it comes to other items that have multiple ingredients, you can literally read the ingredient list and see if the product is vegan or not. Of course, if you're an experienced vegan, you'll know and you will be able to tell if a product is vegan or not. And so it comes down to it that the only reason that veganism is, or vegan food is so expensive is because people are buying a lot of processed foods that cost a lot. People are buying, products that, of course, aren't subsidized or very little subsidies, like produce. They're shopping at high-end supermarkets, organic supermarkets, all these things. They're buying all kinds of organic produce that cost way more than so-called conventional. In fact, conventional should be should be called something else, and organic should be called conventional because organic is conventional. But anyways, I rather eat veganic, but it's not possible always. So there's so many reasons why veganism and vegan food is expensive, and you can definitely live on $1 a day for food, even less. If you dumpster dive, you can get really good food. All packaged, everything, clean, everything packaged. People, supermarkets throw out so much stuff that's in packaging, like lettuce in packaging and fruit in packaging and so forth. And a lot of times nowadays, supermarkets close their bins, they put locks on them. So it's very hard to find some that are open. But anyways, dumpster diving is a good idea. Even getting food from other people. I mean, just to ask people like, you need food, and if they have any extra food to donate or anything like that, or food to donate for a charity, or if you have a vegan charity or something, or nonprofit. What else? There's so many ways. I have multiple videos on how you can save money, and even in my book, How to Live the Perfect Vegan Life, I talk about this as well. And I don't want to keep this video too long, but post your comments down below on this subject matter of why veganism would be too expensive and how to save money being a vegan. Post it down below, and let's see if we can start growing our own food so we can stop spending money in supermarkets. So grow as much food as you can. And if you want to grow food all year round, the only logical solution is to live somewhere where you can grow food all year round. Of course, we don't live in a perfect world, and so there are a lot of obstacles and things that we have to contend to. But I hope this was informational for you, and you don't need to see my face anyways. Who cares? This is all about the message. So thanks for watching, listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.